Welcome students. Today we will continue our discussion on truss element stiffness method, and we will try to analyze a truss by truss element stiffness method. Let me revise. We have seen the basics of truss element, that is, we have seen how to derive this truss element stiffness matrix from the basic principle. We have seen what is the necessity of transformation matrix, and we have seen how we can derive the global elemental stiffness matrix for a truss in global terms, and then we have seen how we can do the initial calculations as far as member data and joint data is concerned. Today we will take up one numerical from your examination. Let us say this is the simplest of the numericals that has been asked in examination. This is a truss having 3 members. I will name the members as AD, BD and CD, and the lengths given. Let us consider that the length is 3 meters, and this is 4 meters. This is 4 meters. And the beauty of this example is there is a load, but that load is not acting in a normal way. This load of 50 kilonewtons is acting at an angle 60 degrees with respect to x-axis. Let us say this is our x-axis, global x-axis. Naturally, this will be my global y-axis. So this 50 kilonewton is acting on the truss like this. So this is the winter 2018 numerical from our Rashtrasant Tukadoji Maharaj Nagpur University example. So this is the truss. This we need to analyze for and find out member forces in all the members. So this load 50 kilonewton is not a normal load which is acting either in x direction or in y direction. This is the load which is inclined at an angle 60 degrees with respect to positive x-axis in the direction given. The lengths are given, and it is given unless and until it is mentioned specially. We can take area of cross section of all the members are same, and we can take the modulus of elasticity for all the members is same. This means all the members are made up of same material. So I can take AE is same for all the members. Unless until specified, we can take AE same for all the members. So we have to analyze this and find out the member forces in all the truss. This is our numerical, and we will start with it. The first step I will find out degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the truss. Degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the truss. Now let me see how many degrees of kinematic indeterminacy is possible in a truss member. Degrees of kinematic indeterminacy is possible in truss member are this is the truss element. At every joint, I know there are 2 degrees of kinematic indeterminacies. One is displacement in x direction, other is displacement in y direction. These are the 2 degrees of kinematic indeterminacies possible in case of any truss member. Now, how many degrees? At A, it is not possible to displace in x direction, not possible to displace in y direction. At B, it is not possible to displace in x direction, neither it is possible to get displaced in y direction. At C, same case, since the support is hinge support, it is not possible for joint C to displace in x or y direction. But at joint D is a free joint. It can displace in x direction, it can displace in y direction. So degree of kinematic indeterminacy is 2. That is, I am writing those degree of kinematic indeterminacy delta x d, that is displacement of d in x direction, and delta y d, that is displacement of d in y direction. This d can displace in x direction, this d can displace in y direction. Nothing has restricted this d from getting displaced in x and y direction, and that is why degree of kinematic indeterminacy is equal to 2 for this member. Now my friends, I know I have to write joint data, and for joint data I must keep all this structure in the first quadrant. So all of you must have judged it right. If I consider my x-axis from A and my y-axis from A. That is, if I consider A as origin, just like this, if I consider the coordinate axis like this, if I consider the coordinate axis, coordinate global x-axis and global y-axis like this, then all my structure is falling in the first quadrant and I am able to write the joint data like this. So my second step is joint data and member data. I am writing joint data. My second step is I am writing joint data. So what is joint data? Joint x coordinate and y coordinate. There are 4 joints A, B, C, D. Joint x coordinate, y coordinate, joint A, joint B, joint C and joint D. I am writing the x and y coordinates for joint A. Now naturally, if my coordinate axes are passing through A, my joint A will be 0, 0. My joint B, look at joint B. For joint B, x axis is 0, y axis is 3. So 0, 3. For joint C, x axis is 0 but y axis is 6. So 0, 6. And for joint D, look at this joint D, x axis is 4 and y axis is 3. So joint D, x axis is 4 and y axis is 3. So this is my joint data. This joint data is ready. Now third step is member data. There are 4 members, 3 members. Member data. I am writing the member data. Member length in meters. Then if area would have been different, I would have written the column of area. No need to write over here. Then next is cos theta, sin theta, cos square theta, sin square theta and cos theta, sin theta. These many elements are required to write the member stiffness matrix. We have seen it. I am going to write it like this. Member. First member is AD. Now it is up to me what member name I should select. Next member is BD. And third member name is CD. I can select DA, I can select DB, I can select DC, no problem. But I have selected AD, BD, CD. It's one's choice. Now I know length of member AD, this is 3 square plus 4 square, that is 5 meters. Length of member BD is 4 meters, it is given. And length of member CD, again it is 3 square plus 4 square, square root of that is 5 meters. Now cos theta. Now I am showing the calculation. Member AD. So what is the coordinate of A? Coordinate of A is 0, 0. And coordinate of D is 4, 3. So what is cos theta? Naturally, this will be my x1, y1. This will be my x2, y2. Everybody agree with it? This is my x1, y1, this is the x2, y2. So cos theta is equal to 4 minus 0 divided by length, that is 5, that is equal to 0.8. And sin theta S is equal to 3 minus 0 divided by 5, that is equal to 0.6. So cos theta is 0.8, sin theta is 0.6. For member BD, B is 0, 3 and D is 4, 3. So cos theta is 1, sin theta is 0, you can calculate. And for member CD, similarly I have calculated, cos theta comes out to be, for member CD, the cos theta comes out to be 0.8 and sin theta comes out to be minus 0.6. So once this data is ready, I can write cos square 0.64, sin square 0.36 and cos sin 0.48. Cos square 1, sin square 0, cos sin 0, 0.64, 0.36 and minus 0.48. This is the basic preparation for writing the member stiffness matrices in global terms. So I have just completed my second and third step. The first step was finding out degree of kinematic indeterminacy. It was 2, and now I have just completed the second and third step. Now my next step is I will just again draw this structure and indicate the coordinates on it. Indicate the coordinates on it. This is A, B, C, D. The truss is A, B, C, D. And as my earlier practice, we will indicate the possible degrees of coordinates by green 1, 2. These are the possible degrees of coordinate by green 1, 2, and we will indicate non-possible degrees of coordinate by red, that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it is, in this case it was possible for me to indicate x first and then y later. So this is what I have taken into consideration. In our last discussion, it was not possible for us to take x first in one of the cases, so we have taken y first. Now in this case, 1, 2 are possible degrees of freedom. That's why they have indicated in green color. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all these are non-possible degrees of freedom. That's what I have indicated in green color. So this is AB. Member AB will be, member AD will be termed as 3, 4, 1, 2. Member BD will be termed as 5, 6, 1, 2, and member CD will be termed as 7, 8, 1, 2 in global terms. Now I am writing the next step, that is the fourth step, that is elemental stiffness matrices in global term. Elemental stiffness matrices in global term. In global coordinates. So first element K global AD. I know the formula is AE upon L. L for AD is 5. Inside the bracket C square. Now I know the value of C square. C square is 0.64. CS is 0.48. C square is 0.64, CS is 0.48, and S square is 0.36. So I am writing it C square 0.64, CS 0.48 minus C square minus 0.64 minus CS minus 0.48. So same is the column. I know the column and rows are same. So I am writing it as it is. Next, it is CS and S square, that is 0.36. minus CS, that is minus 0.48, and minus S square, that is minus 0.36. Same is the column, minus 0.48 minus 0.36. This is again C square, that is 0.64. This is CS, that is 0.48. This is again same column, and now this is again S square, that is 0.36. So this is my matrix for AD, and as we have discussed, member AD will be termed as 3, 4, 1, 2. So I am writing the coordinates member AD 3, 4, and now 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2 by 3, 4, 1, 2. Now all of you must have judged it right. We have done it number of times in beam element. What elements we need to map for the final structure stiffness matrix? These are the elements having 1, 1, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2, 2. Only these 4 elements will be required by us for the structure stiffness matrix, for assembly of structure stiffness matrix, and that is why I have underlined these elements by green color. Now K global BD. K global BD. Now we know member BD, all of you, without looking at the table, look at member BD. Member BD is oriented in global x direction. It is oriented. So local x of member BD and global x, they coincide. So local stiffness matrix and global stiffness matrix must also coincide. It is, we know the formula, AE by L, length is 4 now, AE by L into 1 0 minus 1 0. But let us check according to member data. Member data भी वही बोलेगा. Look at this member data. What is C square? C square is 1, S square is 0, CS is 0. So I will write according to the member data. It is C square CS minus C square minus CS, CS S square minus CS minus S square minus C square minus CS, C square CS minus CS minus S square, CS S square. So this is nothing but local stiffness matrix. Since BD is oriented in local direction, in global direction, the local and global matrix for BD will be same, that is AE upon L, 1 0 minus 1 0. This was the first matrix of truss element we have derived from the basic principle. So this is the same because BD was oriented in global direction. So it is always advisable, if we can take a member which is oriented in global direction, we will not select member DB. I can select BD as well as DB, but it is always advisable to take member BD because member BD is always oriented in global direction. So my calculations are reduced considerably. I can select DB, no problem, but that will increase unnecessarily my calculations. Now, how is member BD? How is member BD? Look at member BD. It is 5612. The coordinates, global coordinates for BD is 5612. If I would have written DB, I would have given the coordinates as 1256 for this matrix. But since my member is BD, my coordinates are 5612. So I am writing the coordinates 5612 by 5612. These are my coordinates. So I have written the stiffness matrix, global stiffness matrix for member BD. Now I am writing the global stiffness matrix for member CD. So K global CD is equal to AE upon L. AE upon L, I know L of CD is 5. And I am writing the global stiffness matrix for CD. For that I need to refer the member data. The member data is with me. This is the member data. So okay, so first it's C square 0.64, CS is minus 0.48, then minus C square and minus CS, so minus of minus will become plus. Then same is the column, minus 0.48 minus 0.64, 0.48. This is S square 0.36 minus CS, that is plus 0.48 and minus 0.36, 0.48 minus 0.36. Now this is C square, again 0.64, and CS is minus 0.48 minus 0.48, and this is S square, that is 0.36. This is the member stiffness matrix of member CD in global terms, AE by 5, that is AE by L common. Now I will again look at the member CD. How is member CD? My member CD, look at this member CD. This member CD, I am going to write the coordinates for member CD as 7812 because my member CD is 7812. If I would have written DC, I would have taken 1278 in global term. So 7812 and 7812 in global term, 7812 by 7812. Now again in this case, I am interested in mapping only these coordinates. I am interested in mapping only these coordinates to the final structure, and I forgot to map these coordinates for BC. For BD, again I am going to map only these coordinates. For BD I am going to map only these coordinates. For BD I am going to map only these coordinates for structure stiffness matrix. First row, first column, second row, second column, because I know the size of my structure stiffness matrix will be 2 by 2 because the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the structure is 2. Size of my structure stiffness matrix will be 2 by 2, and in that case I am only interested in 1 2 1 2, whatever is indicated in green color, that is what I am interested in. So I have got all the elemental stiffness matrices in global coordinates. AD, it is like this. BD, it is like this, and just now I have written the matrix for CD. Now next step is assembly of global stiffness matrix for structure. 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 K global is equal to, now I can take AE only common because lengths are different. I can take AE common. I know the size of the global stiffness matrix will be 2 by 2. So I am just indicating it 1 2 by 1 2. These are global coordinates. I am indicating 1 2 by 1 2. Now I am mapping 1 1 first row, first column. So from this matrix, from the matrix AD, from the matrix ID. First row, first column is 0.64. Friends, don't forget to divide it by 5, because here in this case we have taken AE only common. So 0.64 divided by 5. 0.64 divided by 5, that comes out to be 0.128. 0.6411, first row, first column, 0.64 divided by 5, because for global stiffness matrix, for the structure as a whole, the size will be 2 by 2, because degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the structure as a whole is 2. We have taken only AE common, so 0.128 from the first row, first column. Now first row, second column, we are mapping from AD. First row, second column, 0.48 divided by 5, that is 0.096. That is 0.096, first row, second column. Now second row, first column, 0.48 divided by 5, again it is 0.096. Second row, first column, 0.96. Again AD matrix, second row, second column, 0.36 divided by 5, that is 0.072. That is what these 4 elements I have mapped from AD. These 4 elements I have mapped from AD. These 4 elements I have mapped from AD. These 4 elements I have mapped from the matrix AD. Now the second matrix which gives me 1 2 1 2 is BD. Is BD matrix. In this only one element is there, other elements are 0. So that 1 is not purely 1. 1 divided by 5, that must be 0.25. So I am mapping plus 1 1 is 0.25, others are 0. Others are 0. So these 4 elements I have mapped from BD. 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 And now last is with me here itself. It is 0.64 divided by 5. That is, again I don't need to calculate, because no need to calculate. 0.128 minus 0.48 divided by 5, that is minus 0.096. This is minus 0.48 minus 0.096, and 0.36 divided by 5 plus 0.072. So these 4 elements I have mapped from CD. These 4 elements I have mapped from CD. So I have mapped this matrix 1 1 1 2 2 1 2 2 from all the elemental stiffness matrix. This is structure stiffness matrix in global term. So I have mapped it from all the elemental stiffness matrices 1 1 1 2 2 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 2 2. So I have mapped this global stiffness matrix from the elemental stiffness matrices. This is the most important procedure to be carried out, and all of you have carried it out for beam element for number of times. Now let me simplify. This is for your explanation. Let me simplify. K global in structural terms is equal to, yes, I have calculated, it is 0.256 0 0.256 0.256 plus 0.25 plus 0.25, that comes out to be 0.506 0 0.256. So this is the final matrix into AE. Don't forget to write AE into AE into AE. So this is 0.256 plus 0.25, that is 0.506 0 0, and this is 0.256. So into AE, that was the matrix. So my final global stiffness matrix for the structure comes out to be AE into 0.506 0 0.256. This is my final global stiffness matrix for structure. Now next step is structure equilibrium equation. Sixth step. Fifth step is already over. Fifth step is global stiffness matrix. Sixth step is structure equilibrium equation. Structure equilibrium equation. Fifth step is structure equilibrium equation. What is the structure equilibrium equation? P element is equal to P global is equal to K global delta global. P global is equal to K global delta global. What is P global? P global is force acting on the original structure at the coordinates. K global is the structure stiffness matrix in global terms, and delta global is that structural displacement matrix in global term. We need to determine global stiffness matrix, which we are going to do in our next video.